on file. Gonna have to reboot again. Hey, Dwight, do you want an Altoid? What do you think?
In school, we learned about this scientist who trained dogs to salivate at the sound of a bell by feeding them whenever a bell rang. So for the past couple weeks, I've been conducting a similar experiment.
Dwight, want an Altoid?
Okay.
Altoid?
Sure.
And Dwight?
Pinpoint? Yes.
What are you doing? What?
I don't know. My mouth tastes so bad all of a sudden. Ugh.
Pavlov's dog, 1980, is a common philosophical concept of training in which a scientist and psychologist named Ivan Pavlov trained dogs to salivate at the ring of the bell. He would ring the bell, then show the dogs food, doing it enough times for the dog to connect the bell to getting food. His experiment learned that a stimulus, dog food, that triggers a biological response, salivating at the sight or smell of food, can be paired with a new stimulus, the bell, and result in the same reaction. This experiment is commonly cited as a placebo effect in people's lives and how they react to situations and certain items. The common phrase, "the way to someone's heart is through their stomach," is not only true for making them swoon, but also a way to make someone fall in love with you biologically. Serving someone good food on a first date, whether you made it or not, can automatically associate you in their brain as a good person because we all need food to survive. If you go on a date and a person has bad food or an upset stomach after, they will connect you and the food and lower your chances of going on another date. This is called taste aversion, and it can stop people from eating that certain food or seeing that person for the rest of their lives, even if the food or person didn't cause it.
In modern day, how did the laws of Pavlov's dog and classical conditioning manifest in our day-to-day? There has been a rise in people trying to train themselves, and an increased rhetoric about self-improvement and discipline have been circulating in conversations. In an age that prioritizes productivity and self-improvement in a capitalist society, how have we trained ourselves to recognize certain cues and build certain habits? In the popular book Atomic Habits, it goes over the power of habit being built over time, the power of consistency of making choices till eventually those choices become second nature. In this, we are Pavlov, trying to build habits through classical conditioning. We are also the dog, subconsciously recognizing cues and patterns to build habits. But why is this generation so fixated on taking control of your life? The concept of locking in and becoming the best version of yourself have become very popular in Gen Z rhetoric. This is in part due to the reality of the capitalist world we live in. In order to survive, you need to adapt your lifestyle and goals to maximize profit. With how competitive today's version of success is, there's a new need to optimize everything, including your habits. A big thing that Gen Z struggles with now is a phone addiction. Having a constant option of stimulus is like a dog always having a food readily available. The dog in all of us slowly builds unhealthy habits that are hard to break, giving us our own personal cues the same way the dog heard the bell and started salivating. This explains why we always have to scroll after work after being used to it for so long, or why we can't get any work done at school despite it being an educational environment. In this sense, we have accidentally trained ourselves to create these cues and patterns. Just like when we associate people with food experiences, like how Raina mentioned earlier, everything we do causes an association in our minds from the stimuli in our everyday routine. With the pressure of productivity, people are led to resent themselves for these bad habits and look for solutions through things like self-discipline. People have begun locking their phones away to study or rewarding themselves with meals and drinks naturally. The discipline being sought after is the reason Atomic Habits has risen in fame amongst Gen Z. All this goes to show that understanding Pavlov's dog and why we all have the collective desire to take a hold of our lives can help us understand our habits. With the knowledge of Pavlov's dog, we can learn how to hack our own systems and recognize our own behavior. How can we be the Pavlov of our own life?